Utah and Washington kick it off this weekend. Joe, I already know where this video is going to go. We have a lot of Utah fans that follow us. A lot of I don't know how, but we do. They think I hate Utah. But I am going to caution Utah fans very quickly. The last 2 times that I have picked against your school, you have lost. You've lost. Okay? Oregon State and Oregon. And you killed me for it. You abused me for it.
That's a haymaker, man. You're coming out here saying that you're the kiss of death. That's what you're saying.
Utah fans, you better be careful. That's all I'm going to say. Joe, I do think this game's going to be closer than people think. My Utah radar is going off. I've been right about my Utes. Other than Florida, I've been right about the Utes on every pick. 4-1 when we pick the Utes. My radar is going off. Let me tell you why. I think that they're going to run the football effectively and play keep away from Washington, and I think their defense is good enough to be able to keep and contain somewhat Washington. Watch out for this game, Joe. I'm telling you, don't think Washington's going to roll in here and blow them out, because if they can find a way to run the football effectively, 3 yards in a cloud of dust if you got to do it, this game's going to be close. I think it's going to be within a 6-point game. Okay? Washington's going to squeak out of here because Michael Penix has a big late-time throw. Those receivers go off. You're not going to be able to run the football on them. It's not going to happen. They don't really need to, though. I'm going to take the Huskies here, but I'm only going to take them by 6.
I don't think this game is a blowout, but I think that this is absolutely going to be more than a 1-score game. At the bare minimum, 2-score, 10-point type football game.
Fair. I can see that. That's fair.
When Utah played USC, it took them completely scratching and clawing to put up the amount of points that they did to win that football game against one of the worst. Correct. I give them their flowers. I give them their credit. It was an amazing performance. Bryson Barnes, it's a great story after that game, but it took so much effort for them to put up that many points against a terrible, terrible defense. Now, where you and I disagree, I think Washington's defense is better than USC's defense by a decent margin. And I do not think that Utah will have nearly the same level of success against Washington's defense as what they did against USC. It is going to be a harder game for them to come by yards. I am not saying that they get shut out. I'm not saying that they get blown out. But for them to put up that much offensive production is what it will require to beat Washington.
I agree.
They don't have that in them. They're going to score a couple nice touchdowns. They're going to make a couple nice plays, string together a couple nice drives. But I say the same thing every single week. Jalen Polk, Roman Dunze, Jalen McMillan, that group is so hard to keep up with. Michael Penix is in his bag. He is playing at a high elite level, and they are hard to keep up with. Utah just does not have the firepower.
Here's the thing for me, though. Washington's pass defense is in the 120s. Now, I know that Utah's pass offense is 118.
Yeah.
Okay, but I went and looked at every single Washington game and the passing yards, Joe, that they're giving up. They are abysmal at covering anybody. They let Washington do it. They've let everybody that they want do it. And you don't come at me with the stats, you Washington fans. Well, this guy only threw for this. Well, go back and watch the game, the plays where he's actually making plays with their arm. Joe, I'm telling you, Bryson Barnes, the pig farmer, is good enough against this defense that I think that he can throw the football well enough to be able to move the ball on this defense. I don't think that they're any good because, Joe, they're in the 120s in pass defense. And Bryson Barnes, although I think is a mediocre quarterback, I've seen him make some good throws. Now, Washington's run defense is also not that great. So where styles make fights, and I do believe that this is not the kind of style that this Washington defense wants to get in, but something's got to give. I'm just going to lean Bryson Barnes here enough because I think that he can throw the ball better than what Washington can defend it. Well, you don't have a lot of time. You want to get to picks or make your plan, then we'll get to picks.
Final thought that I just have to throw in there. This is something that I know that you don't like me saying, but I believe that Washington is a gamer type team. They are a type of team that does not show up against bad opponents. And when they have matchups with ranked teams, they will show up and they will fight for 4 quarters and they will play their best football game. This is just another one of those days for Washington.